I'm playing the character which is the equivalent of the Duke in the original play. The Duke who sorts out the issue of Desdemona's having eloped with Othello. And he appears in just a couple of scenes in the play, and he's not a significant character at all. I just wanted to be a part of the team, and I told Vishal that I'd like to do this part. I was also looking for an excuse to shave my head, because my hair has been giving me a lot of trouble. So that's it, and my bit is over. I think that, actually I wish I had realized this earlier. It would have saved me a lot of heartburn. That an actor must consider it his responsibility to fulfill whatever part the filmmaker sees him in to the best of his ability. And actors must stop deluding themselves that they are the center of everything. Unfortunately, our film industry works in the opposite way. It is actor-centric, or star-centric rather. First, the star is acquired, trapped, whatever you like to call it, persuaded, and then a project builds up around the presence of this person. It's a sick, diseased way of working, according to me, but who am I to say anything about it? And so the actors who become successful, it's very easy for those people to get deluded into believing that they are the center of the universe. And thus through their lives continue to work with this attitude even when their stardom ceases, But an actor must realize that he is one of the devices that a filmmaker is using to convey a point. He is not the reason this film is being made. He is there to fulfill a certain part, and he should do it. He is about as important as the camera, or as the editing machine, or as the Nagra. Not more important than that. The fact that he's a human being makes him a little bit special, but not so special as to, become God. And in fact, what I encouraged Saif to do, because he was in a great dilemma as to whether to cut his precious locks or not. It's become such a big issue to cut your hair. People who grow their hair claim they've worked very hard because they grew a beard or grew a mustache. I mean, what effort does it take to grow a mustache or to cut your hair? But Saif was in a terrible turmoil, thought he'd lose all his female fans, and was thinking of doing this with his hair or that with his hair. So what I suggested was just try and look within yourself. Don't try and create a character outside you. Look within yourself and look at yourself and imagine how you'd be. And I think if you just cut your hair really short, that'll be a start. And so he was gutsy enough. I mean, in a general sense, I wouldn't call it guts, but since he's one of those bevy of stars to whom looks are everything, I would call it gutsy to do it. I hope he realizes, however, that it's nothing very great that he's done by cutting his hair. He has only done what he should have done in the first place. And so it's not a great achievement that he cut his hair. The great achievement will be if he turns out a truthful performance, which I think he will, because I think he's a very fine actor and he's improving by leaps and bounds with every time I see him. And this is, and Iago is a winner anyway. But to answer specifically your question about the look, I don't believe that an actor should visualize the character and then try and look like him. He should try and find in himself the resemblance to that character and the potential of being such a person, because we all have every kind of potential within us, and then try and come as close to that as possible. I feel you have to search for every character within yourself. If you create characters which are outside you, because we all have limitations, I when I was doing a film called Jalwa, where I was supposed to be all muscle bound, did not have the picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger in front of me, because I knew that I could never get there without 15 years of weightlifting, and I was not prepared to do that. What I had in mind was how I would be with those kind of physical abilities. And a little bit of fantasizing is also included in it. But you have to find the character within yourself. That's what I believe. A lot of filmmakers tend to perform the role of director rather than to actually direct, you know. And when you come onto the set, you immediately see this guy who's probably standing on a step or on a stool or something, wearing a baseball cap and pointing in all directions. You know, they love being photographed, pointing and thinking and so on. Vishal is the last guy you'll notice when you come onto the sets of the film, because he is just quietly sitting in a corner pondering on what he has to do, and is not running around displaying himself as the director. It may seem like it indicates an attitude, and that a very healthy attitude, because you're not a showman. You're in a creative job, and I think that the more you keep to yourself while doing this kind of work, the better. And that's what Vishal does. He's very open to suggestions, always has been. In fact, I made a number of major suggestions in Maqbool regarding the casting, which he happily accepted and was very happy with. So, and I find him much more confident than he was. This is his second film since Maqbool. Naturally, it matters to him to make good movies. He's not making movies as a job, but as a passion, and therefore there's hope, great hope. I just hope he doesn't get caught up in the big budget